What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we're doing positional previews for the New York Giants. This time the interior linemen. Last year I went by defensive ends and defensive tackles. We're going interior linemen now, so edge rushers and defensive ends will kind of be all mixed together in one when it comes to next time's positional previews, or I'll do just edge rushers and then interior linebackers. So we'll see how that goes, but we're gonna do interior linemen today, then tomorrow will be edge rushers, and then we'll go on from there. So first one on the list, by the way, subscribe to the channel if you guys want to see more of this. I'm almost at 900 subscribers. I'm trying to get to 1,000. That is the goal here before the season starts. The 2018 NFL season starts. So if you guys can help me out, like the video, subscribe, all that, and yeah, enjoy. So the interior linemen. First, we'll start off with Damon Harrison. Damon Snacks Harrison, the guy, the most underrated player in the NFL by far. This is like one of the best nose tackles, traditional nose tackles in the NFL. I'm sure he doesn't have the pass rush ability that Aaron Donald has, or, you know, I don't know what to say. I mean, Geno Atkins is up there too as well, but Damon Harrison is just completely underrated. And, you know, I don't even think he made the top 100 players ever. He never made a Pro Bowl, and he's just one of the best players to play right now in this NFL era that just never got himself a Pro Bowl appearance or a top 100 players appearance. And, you know, he's hungry this season. You know, he already said it. He feels disrespected about, you know, the top 100 list and stuff like that, and, you know, for good reason. So I expect him to have a monster season this year, as along with all the other seasons he's had. I mean, always #1 in run stuffs, always. And, you know, he doesn't have the best pass rush abilities, but he definitely does force the quarterback to do certain things, get out the pocket and stuff like that. I've seen that happen before, force pressures and things like that. And it's not like he gets 0 sacks a year. He gets about 1 or 2 a year. I mean, that's not too much to ask for Damon Harrison. So of course, I think, you know, he's definitely a lock to be our nose tackle this season. We're switching to a 3-4. This is more so his cup of tea. He's going to be that traditional zero technique nose tackle that we all know and love when he was playing with the Jets, and, you know, before he was with the New York Giants in the 4-3 scheme. So now we move on to the second-round pick last year out of Alabama. That's Dalvin Tomlinson, coming into his second year in the NFL, and absolutely had a great campaign at defensive tackle last year. He was highly rated by Pro Football Focus, and, you know, to me, it was definitely a good pick by Jerry Reese. It was his, you know, very few good picks, good second-round picks that he's made, but definitely like Dalvin Tomlinson. I think he's a perfect complement to Damon Snacks Harrison. You know, if Snacks were to leave, I think Dalvin Tomlinson would fit in very nicely at nose tackle. Dalvin Tomlinson, like I said, had a very good rookie campaign, very good at run stuffing, and yeah, I can't wait to see what he's going to bring to the table next year. He's going to be in the 3 technique. I know a lot of people were asking, you know, is he going to be playing, you know, 3-4 defensive end? No, that is not the case. He is going to be playing 3 technique, just like he did in the 4-3. It's just in the 3-4. He's not, his job is not different whatsoever. He's just going to be lined up next to a linebacker or another defensive end, you know, another edge rusher. He's going to be lined up next to, you know, he's not going to be playing 5 technique in any way. So as far as that goes, Dalvin Tomlinson is going to be playing the same role he did. All I'm asking for is him to play as well as he played last year, if not better, and we'll be just okay there at the defensive tackle 2 position. We now move on to Robert Thomas, who has been on this roster for quite a while now. I would say around 3 years, and has been our rotational defensive tackle for us, and we mostly bring him on during the goal line stands and stuff like that. He's been doing a pretty good job. I do notice him on these goal line stands, and you know, he could make the roster. He does have some tight competition. Hopefully, you know, we see something, you know, some competition in the preseason. We see that battle take place there at the defensive tackle position. So Robert Thomas, coming from Carolina, Dave Gettleman does know about Robert Thomas quite well. By the way, all thoughts and prayers go to Dave Gettleman, who was diagnosed with lymphoma just a couple of days ago. So prayers up for DG. We now move on to Josh Morrow, who I was pretty excited about because I know he's a very versatile 3-4 defensive end slash defensive tackle. So I wanted him to get some playing time, but he is going to be suspended for PED use. I believe it was PED use. And he's going to be suspended 4 games for us. And, you know, he should be our rotational defensive end. Don't know how they're going to use him yet, because we do have BJ Hill. We do have RJ McIntosh. I don't know how these guys are going to get equal reps, and I don't know how these reps are going to be distributed. But I think James Bettcher has a pretty good system going on to draft 2 defensive tackles, then bring in Kareem Martin, then bring in Josh Morrow, 2 players that he's worked with in Arizona. So he definitely has a plan for these guys. We don't know what it is yet, but I'm definitely so excited to see this D-line this year. I mean, it's going to be so much different from what we used to do for the past couple years now in the 4-3. You know, we always had a Justin Tuck, a JPP, an OC Umenyiora, Matthias Kiwanuka. We always had these guys, and you know, and then in the interior, Jonathan Hankins, Damon Harrison, you know, Dalvin Tomlinson, and Jay Bromley and stuff like that. We always had those guys. We always knew what roles they played, and we always knew what to expect from these guys. But when it comes to this defense this year, when it comes to the edge rushers, when it comes to the interior linemen, you don't know who's going to be on the field and who's going to be at the field at the same time, or where they're going to be lined up. It's honestly pretty exciting to see, because I don't know what they're going to do. And you know, we may go heavy on pass rushers, and we may go heavy on run stuffers. It's just, I don't know. You guys leave in the comment section below how you think it's going to work out, because I'm pretty excited about it. But anyway, Josh Morrow, excited about him. But, you know, like I said, 4 games out. You know, we're definitely going to see more of BJ Hill and more of RJ McIntosh in the first 4 games of the season. That's if Josh Morrow even makes the roster, because he's not an outstanding player that, you know, that we need to keep him on this roster even with the suspension. If somebody impresses us to the point where we need to get rid of Josh Morrow, you know, like a Tyrell Chavis, who's honestly, in my opinion, can make a roster for any other NFL team that needs a defensive tackle. We just so happen to be in that situation where we don't really need as much depth as we used to, because we drafted guys like BJ Hill and RJ McIntosh. So we now segue into RJ McIntosh. I'm very excited about him. I think he was a steal in the 5th round. I watched his tape. He is outstanding when it comes to power and overpowering centers and guards. I think he's great at that. I also seen that he, I believe it was Quentin Nelson that he demolished in that Notre Dame and Miami game. And Quentin Nelson, as you guys know, can be, you know, an outstanding guard in this league, and to me was one of my top prospects. And you know, if we didn't get Saquon Barkley at 2, I really wanted Quentin Nelson. So, you know, to get somebody in the 5th round that demolished a top 5 pick in Quentin Nelson, I'm very excited about that. Hopefully he brings that onto the NFL field, works his way into this rotation, and yeah, very excited about him. I left somebody out here, that's BJ Hill, who I'm very excited about as well, because of the fact of how versatile he is. He can be, I don't think he can play 5 technique, so to speak. A lot of people are saying he may be able to play 5 technique. I don't see it quite yet, but I think he's that pass rushing defensive tackles that new school defensive coordinators are starting to use. They need guys that can pass rush from the inside, because that's how this NFL is evolving now. It's a passing league now. Teams don't run as much as they used to. They don't need the big run stuffers like they used to. They need the smaller but bigger guys to pass rush within the the tackle box. So the 3 technique guys, and the 1 technique guys that can pass rush. So yeah, as far as that goes, BJ Hill, very excited about him. Very versatile player in the 3-4. Very excited about BJ Hill. And we now move on to Jordan Williams. I believe he was on the roster with us for about 1 or 2 years now. I think he comes from Kansas State. Forgive me if that's wrong, but that's what my memory reminds me of. Jordan Williams from Kansas State. I think he got injured and we had to put him on IR before he even got a chance to play in the preseason, or if not, he played a couple preseason games. But I know that a lot of people were speculating about him and saying that he was a chance to make the roster, along with guys like Romeo Okwara back then in that undrafted free agent class there. But Jordan Williams, definitely another guy to look out for. We'll see what happens with him. And then we got guys like Josh Banks last year, who came about last year. We got him, I believe he was out of Wake Forest, and he's a guy that I really like. He is that typical new school defensive tackle that, you know, teams are starting to look at. Once again, we want guys that are bigger and faster in the interior. This guy can pass rush very, very well in the interior. And yeah, I'm very excited about him, but he very well reminds me of BJ Hill, and we already have BJ Hill. We have RJ McIntosh. It's going to be hard for him to work his way up this roster, if not even make the roster. So it's going to be hard for him to do that. But we'll see. Definitely a practice squad type guy. We now move on to our last guy, Tyrell Chavis, defensive tackle out of Penn State. Very, very excited. I want to see him in the preseason. I hope we don't cut him before then. I hope he doesn't get injured before then. Really want to see what he'll bring to the table. This guy could potentially work his way into the rotation as being another run-stuffing defensive tackle. Like I said, they're not utilized as much anymore in the NFL, but they're definitely needed. We need somebody besides Damon Harrison and Dalvin Tomlinson, and maybe he could replace Robert Thomas. We'll see. As far as that goes, I don't see any more big defensive tackles besides Josh Morrow, who's a versatile 3-4 defensive end, so I guess you could put an argument for that. But you know, I really do like Tyrell Chavis. And another guy I forgot. I can't believe I forgot about it. Well, actually, no, I'll save him for pass rushers. And I was talking about Kareem Martin, but I'm gonna save him for pass rushers because that's basically what he is. But you know, he's a bigger guy, so he can play defensive tackle. But I'm gonna save him for pass rush. So those are the guys. I'm gonna list my projected depth chart. My projected depth chart for this positional previews is in the description below. Go ahead and check that out if you haven't already, and follow along with me. I hope you were following along with me. So here's my projected depth chart for the New York Giants interior linemen. I got Damon Harrison at defensive tackle number 1 or nose tackle. Then I got Dalvin Tomlinson at defensive tackle number 2 or the 3 technique. And then we got guys in the list like Josh Mauro, and then RJ McIntosh and BJ Hill. Of course, I have BJ Hill over Josh Morrow and RJ McIntosh. But with Josh Morrow, you know, we may just keep 4 guys at defensive tackle. I don't know, because we have guys that versatile like Kareem Martin on that pass rush. So I don't know how it's going to go, guys. I really don't know how it's going to go. But you guys let me know in the comment section below. What do you guys think? How do you think this depth chart will shape up? Who do you guys think will make the roster? Who do you guys think will be a cut? Honestly, if we had to keep 4 defensive tackles, 4 interior linemen rather, I'll say Damon Harrison, Dalvin Tomlinson, RJ McIntosh, BJ Hill, and RJ McIntosh are 2 draftees there. And then those are our 4 guys. Josh Morrow is good. I mean, he's decent, but he's out for these 4 games. You know, BJ Hill and RJ McIntosh are ready. They're ready to play right now, and I'd rather have them on the team, and they're guys that we drafted, so you know, we definitely have a plan for them. Josh Morrow is just a free agent signing, so if we had to keep 4, you know, I'm going with that 4, but if we have to keep 5, I'm going with Josh Morrow as well. So like I said, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.